We've collected, let's see, 999 power moons! Wow, that's amazing! Oh, and that reminds me, there's this... Hello there everybody, and welcome to part 53 of Super Mario Odyssey. Today is going to be a more relaxing episode, because these next two videos I'm going to show off every single something related to the game. And what I want to show off here today are every single brochure from start to finish. So, obviously we would start with the Mushroom Kingdom first, and then, you know, going all the way to the darker side, if you will. So, let's go ahead and do some reading. Don't worry, I'll check you out later. The Mushroom Kingdom, the most famous of all kingdoms. Peach's Castle, the elegant heart of the kingdom. And, of course, I won't even get to read the population. The towering mysteries. In older times, the towers dotted the landscape here were watchtowers. Now they hold and preserve a series of mysterious paintings. These incredibly detailed works are so real that admirers speak of being pulled into another world by the paintings. However, it is extremely rare for tourists to be permitted to see them due to the undescribed danger, and casual visits are discouraged. You'll always know whose castle this is. A lovely portrait in glass. Because Princess Peach is so often absent from her kingdom, her residents often took it upon themselves to create a stained glass portrait of her on the castle balcony. While a pale reflection of the genuine article, the portrait brings comfort into the citizenry when their princess can't be with them. Not mushrooms. These fruit thrive in the warm climate here and are a favorite of many creatures that reside in the Mushroom Kingdom. Places to relax. The toads of the Mushroom Kingdom value their relaxation and have created several lovely spots on the castle grounds for that purpose. Neither too small nor too large, and with just the right amount of ornamentation, I should say, these plazas and courtyards exemplify the best traits of the kingdom. An image of the national attitude. Slightly scary woods. Even the serene Mushroom Kingdom has its more dangerous locales. This forest was originally planned for mushroom cultivation, but while the mushrooms have flourished, a large number of wild Goombas have also moved in. While it's come to be known as Goomba Woods, it's still a nice, pleasant place for a stroll, so if you're not afraid of these fearsome beasts, why not treat yourself for a walk? A bit more dangerous than it looks. A bit. A castle's water feature. The only lake on the castle grounds features a small but lovely waterfall and is a popular spot to visit. The lake formed naturally, but some claim that its shape is familiar. Not very deep, so a good place to swim. And the 3 keys are as follows. Visit Peach's Castle, the face and the heart of the kingdom. Number 2, relax in the various soothing spots scattered about. And 3, stroll through the rolling hills and dales of the castle grounds. The Cap Kingdom, home of tradition, proprietary, and hats. Bonneton, a land of haberdash dreams. You might mistake them for giants' top hats, and architecture protrudes from the fog. Extremely mobile homes. In town, you will immediately notice the unique dwellings shaped like hats. These constructions double as both house and airship for the Bonneteurs, who take great pride in them. Some of the larger houseboats even have 2 stories. As private dwellings, you can't just stroll inside, but the natives don't mind people climbing on top of their homes. perhaps being on top private property comes naturally to these hat-like people. The world's best hat stand. This eye-catching tower is famous in Bonneton, as both a landmark itself and for the spectacular view from the brim. Visitors are allowed inside, but many creatures call the tower home, much to the surprise of first-timers. Posts that stand out. These wooden posts are used as partitions and stoppers. If they get in your way, you can pound them down, but pulling them out is recommended. A spectacle of a bridge. The bridge that connects the central square and the hills is called Glass's Bridge. It's a long double-arched structure whose bottom is hidden in a sea of clouds. When you see it, you'll understand its affectionate nickname immediately. Many tourists enjoy the speedy thrill of rolling across the undulating structure. Be sure to give it a try. The distinctly double-arched bridge. Old-fashioned lighting. These unique lights only appear in Bonneton. Since the area gets so dark every time the moon goes behind the clouds, the lights are designed to be switched on with a simple turn of the lantern. The elegant design of these lampposts draws many tourists. They're even lovelier when turned on, so do give each one a spin as you pass by. They also look a bit like headstands. The Sometimes Bridge. The bridge connecting Central Square to Top Hat Tower is built to retract in an emergency. If this happens during your visit, don't panic. Just use the switch to restore the bridge. The bridge's waves go in a sea of fog. And here are the 3 keys. Appreciate the distinctive architectural style based on the hat silhouettes. 2. Enjoy the romantic glow of the moonlit, fog-shrouded streets. And 3. Chat with the kind and ever-courteous Bonneters. The Cascade Kingdom, land of waterfalls and natural treasures. Fossil Falls, the last holdout of history. Like a huge axe planted in the ground, see the rainbow? Nature in balance. The stone spire is Nature in balance. The stone spire standing near the Great Falls has miraculously remained balanced upright in this position, presumably for eons. Of particular interest are the cubes of unknown material embedded in the stone. These cubes are the reason for the common theory that the spire somehow fell from the sky. While this theory is difficult to prove, it is equally hard to doubt when looking at this miraculous stone structure. A tall drink of water. There are many waterfalls in the Cascade Kingdom, but the area known as Fossil Falls is a special one. There are few sights in nature as grand as the millions of gallons of water pouring out every second out of this giant Triceratops skeleton. Natural patterns, the fossil. If you look closely at the stone walls, you will notice fossils mixed in. Think of it as nature's mosaic, and remember it always. The Ancient Wall. No ordinary cliff face, this structure was carved out painstakingly over many long years by people unknown. This wall is composed of mainly of fossils, and evidence suggests it has been broken many times, causing some to suggest that something is buried inside. Visitors are encouraged to explore the mysteries surrounding the Great Barrier, if they dare. What secrets lie within the barrier? The Prehistoric Tyrant. The biggest draw for tourists The Prehistoric Tyrant. The biggest draw for tourists to this area is that dinosaurs still live here. Many people willingly put themselves at considerable risk for a glimpse of the ancient, terrible lizards. T-Rex, most terrible of all dinosaurs, can pulverize a boulder with a single blow. On the other hand, most people don't realize how much they spend time napping. Researchers still believe this specimen is female. An old, odd structure. No one knows of a Bonneton-style structure got buried here, or how it is. Bonitors travel often, so they may have lived here in the past. It is a helpful landmark if you get lost, though. Old, but not as ancient as surroundings. So you can definitely tell that the Odyssey was made from this very ancient structure. So that gives a little bit of insight as to what the Odyssey actually was. 3 keys to the kingdom. Number 1, experience the glory of nature with the eye-popping Great Falls. 2, see dinosaurs, prehistoric rulers of a bygone age. And 3, find treasures of the past tucked away everywhere you look. The Sand Kingdom, home of red sands and lively locals. Tostarena, gateway to the stark beauty of the desert. The ruins greet you with an impressive gate and the bright colors of Tostarena. Mysterious ancient ruins. Head north from town and you'll be greeted by ancient ruins that dot the expansive desert. Though many have become conflict regions patrolled by bullet bills, their status as important heritage sites is undeniable. Your eye will be drawn to the large stone tower at the heart of the ruins. Due to the extensive hollowing underground, quicksand has become prevalent in this area, so watch out. Tostarena Tourism. A small town serves as the hub for tourists planning to visit the inverted pyramid. The colorful buildings and cheerful people provide a warm welcome for visitors. They're happy to provide direction, so don't hesitate to say hello. The Moai eyes love their shades. Their run have chased, but there are proud people who have long inhabited these ruins. Please be polite. Inverted pyramid, like a precious gem itself. The true can't miss of this region, the inverted pyramid may look unstable, but rest assured it never topples and has thrilled tourists for years. It is said that a legendary artifact called the Binding Band lies within, and the upside-down pyramid symbolizes how these, joined by it, will never part even when the world turns upside down. Jaxi. Payment required in advance. Let's have a look at the curious local transport method known as the Jaxi. Just hop onto the back of one, and as you might guess from their appearance, you'll be in for a wild but completely reliable ride. Make good use of them, and you'll be exploring the unforgiving desert in comfort and style. The living heart of the desert. So beautiful you'll think you're at a resort. Here's a spot to moisten your dried and weathered heart, with greenery and water to make you forget you're in the desert. The fish and birds are plentiful and well worth a visit. 3 keys to the kingdom. Number 1, enjoy the small but lively desert village and its charming inhabitants. Number 2, wonder at the inverted pyramid and its upside-down magic. Number 3, watch for the gem iconography. What is that word? Carved in relief on the ruins. Iconography. Okay. Iconography, that's weird. Lake Kingdom, land of beauty and clear waters. Lake Lamode, the town both in and on the lake. Beautiful in a different way than the lake, light plays through the surface of the lake. Window shopping. Considered the most luxurious garment this kingdom has to offer, the Lock Lady dress is displayed in the show window at the Water Plaza. Of all the garments created by the Lock Ladies, only the very best and most beautiful is selected for this great honor. It's a national treasure. It's said that wearing this dress brings eternal happiness, so naturally, every bride yearns for it. Sadly, this one-of-a-kind item is not for sale. Except Mario, because Mario gets everything. The Domed Water Plaza. The Doomed Water Plaza. Lake Lamode, the land of fashion. The underwater water plaza is protected by a glass dome, but don't worry, there's air inside to breathe. When you look up at the lake from within the plaza, you can see dories swimming amid the stunning scenery. The lovely Lock Ladies. Lock Ladies are exceedingly flexible, but they also possess a deep strength. Many have become accomplished designers, and this balance may be their secret. Zippers of mystery. You just want to yank it, don't you? Fitting for a kingdom famous for its fashion, you can find zipper art all over the place here. Zippers can be securely fastened as well as opened and closed freely, so perhaps they have a deeper meaning. That said, this particular zipper is more than decoration. It actually works, so stop by and give it a try. Dory, the aquatic buddy. Fresh or saltwater, Dory swims anywhere. This gentle creature spends its day swimming gracefully in Lake Lamode. If you're confident in your ability, swimming alongside it might make for some wonderful memories. Although able to live in any aquatic environment, some heard that Dory complain that the lake is too small. Keep an eye out for Dory-themed souvenirs, which tourists just love. Soaked in history. There's even a deep end. Once a spot for designers to relax and even dye cloth, this soaking pool has a rich history. Since most activity centers around the lake town, this is now a well-known fishing hole. 3 keys to the kingdom: visit the water plaza, especially if you enjoy breathing air. Swim with the local Dory for an unforgettable experience. Admire the gown that qualifies as a national treasure. The Wooded Kingdom. Ancient gardens tended by futuristic machines. Steam Gardens, the world's most advanced greenhouse. Locals are a bit off-putting, but quite friendly. You can't miss this bright red machinery. Guardians of Paradise. Visitors are welcomed not only by the humid air, but worker robots tending the flowers. They're known as Steam Gardeners, longtime residents of the kingdom. You'll be impressed at how long they can work without rest, maintaining themselves perfectly. But beyond being hard workers, the robots love flowers. Some grow them right out of their heads. You'll feel the steam gardeners' warm hearts from their flowers and also from their internal steam pumps. The Living Factory. No one knows who built the giant machines dotting this land, but today the steam gardeners use them to maintain the greatest flower gardens in the world. The giant dome is climate controlled and apparently self-sufficient, operating with no maintenance since ancient times. Birds not of a feather. Local birds here are remarkably fond of their mechanical neighbors. Flowers as a way of life. There are flower gardens everywhere. While you'll see amazing flowers on any visit, you might be lucky enough to see the famous Steam Garden Soiree Bouquet. It features giant white flowers that charm all who lay eyes on it. As you might guess from the name, it's by far the most popular bouquet for wedding ceremonies, sought after by wedding planners the world over. A deep woods secret. Bring a pith helmet if you go exploring here. It doesn't appear on many tours, but there is an area untouched by the machines of the steam gardens. Here the trees grow thickly, barely allowing any light through. The steam gardeners do not speak of it, but rumor has it that they discourage visiting the place because of the danger posed by the giant creatures that call it home. A growing walkway. Safety tip: don't dawdle. Be sure to try the system of paths called the Flower Road. You'll marvel at plants growing into temporarily but walkable bridges. Watch your step though. Nature has no handrails. The keys to the kingdom. Smell the flowers. Not that you can't miss them, but they do favor the scent. Admire the steam gardeners for their impressive devotion to their work. Appreciate machines and nature living in exquisite harmony. If only this was actually true. Cloud Kingdom, mystery above our heads. Nimbus Arena, the archaeological dig site in the clouds. The clouds in question and the super light stuff also found at Fossil Falls. Strangely floaty material. While the particles that make up a cloud are extremely small and light, researchers have recently discovered a kind of cloud-like material that one can walk on. First discovered in Fossil Falls, the substance can change into and hold new spaces, or hold new shapes, and even support weight. The discovery prompted certain researchers to open an investigation into whether there might once been a cloud kingdom in the sky. Life above the clouds. Perhaps everyone has had their experience looking up at the clouds and imagining what it would be like to live among them. As it turns out, as fantastical as this may sound, there was once such a kingdom whose citizens looked down on the world from a fluffy paradise. Symbols of peace. Perhaps signifying how peaceful this place is, many doves can be found living here. Supposedly, spotting a flock of doves will grant you increased happiness. Vestiges of greatness. The site of some kind of ceremony? Once researchers started looking for places in the sky, they quickly found a large platform of the levitating substance dubbed Nimbus Arena. Mysteriously, the land had markings that accurately showed the waxing and waning phases of the moon. Besides the obvious how, researchers had to question why. Giant cloud arches. Whatever else it is, it's beautiful. Researchers have thus far baffled... Giant cloud arches. Whatever else it is, it's beautiful. Researchers are thus far baffled by the large cloud archway here. Some theorize that it's a kind of reticle that aligns with the moon. Some evidence suggests that the arch pulled this kingdom's moon rock to a specific location from the moon. The only certainty is that the Cloud Kingdom will continue to interest researchers for many years. Showers of flowers. Trust us, pictures don't do it justice. The investigation is concluded now and yielded few disputed facts. But the bits of cloud that fall like flower petals here make it the most dreamlike place you'll ever visit. Keys to the Kingdom. Navigate the vast sea of clouds that seem to go on forever. That's a lie. Feel the unyielding cloud floor that won't budge no matter how you stomp. 3. Explore the remnants of a civilization that once existed here. Yeah, that really gets me thinking. Like, the lore of Cloud Kingdom is actually kind of awesome. Like, there was once a Cloud Kingdom here. Like, an actual Cloud Kingdom. So I guess in order to make up for the fact that there is no actual Cloud Kingdom level, just the boss fight arena, they added in this really cool lore, which was, once there was an ancient kingdom that existed at one point. So that's really cool. Lost Kingdom. Remote island chain in the tropics. Forgotten Isle. Lively paradise surrounded by a sea of death. Some local species are quite colorful. Splendid flora breathes life into this place. Nature's traffic lights. The tropical wrigglers found here are not aggressive and are mostly genial and pleasant creatures. You should, however, avoid touching them for safety's sake. They stretch and contract their bodies constantly and have a habit of stretching across major pathways, so you may need to wait for the right moment to pass. This behavior has given them the nickname Traffic Lights of the Island. Be sure to look both ways before you cross. A dense, primeval forest, whatever that word is. Few visit these remote islands surrounded by poison, but they are dense with plants that have followed a unique evolutionary path. There is a strange unity between the vibrantly colored plants, the odd animals, and the sea of poison surrounding them. A symbol from ancient times. Now seen all over the world, this starburst symbol is thought to have originated on these islands. But what does it communicate? The mystery may never be solved. Woo! Thief of the skies. It even looks evil. The undisputed ruler of the skies here is the Klepto. This large bird has keen eyesight that enables it to spot prey from far above before swooping down to snatch it up in an instant. Once ensnared in its sharp claws, escape is quite difficult, and many smaller visitors have been carried off this way. Ruins steeped in mystery. The exact mechanism is not yet understood, except by us. The purpose of the distinctive ruins scattered throughout the island remains unclear. The starburst pattern that appears on them may indicate a spot capable of withstanding a great impact. The builders clearly mastered stonework, as these structures still operate and move perhaps centuries after their creators had disappeared. Watch those hands. The trap beetle is a local hazard. Its large hands capture prey. I keep bumping my microphone, I'm sorry. Who are held tight as the creature explodes in a tragic display seen absolutely nowhere else in nature. Best to avoid. And they are the so-called guardians of the ruins. Enjoy the breathtaking scenery, but beware the death-dealing poison. Watch the tropical wiggler grow and shrink. It is simply mesmerizing. Puzzle over the odd mechanics of these strange ruins. Metro Kingdom, modern commerce center and urban playground, and New Donk City, the city that never leaps. I like how the size is called redonkulous. The nighttime skyline shines from every angle. New Donk City Hall and Mayor Pauline. A 1,000,000 coin view! If you come to New Donk City, you'll owe it to yourself to see it at night. The best viewing spot is the landmark New Donk City Hall, but sadly the interior is closed for construction, so you have to aim for one of the neighboring buildings. If it's festival season, you'll have a chance to experience a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But the timing is a bit irregular, so be sure to check the schedule beforehand. Scraping the sky. The skyscrapers of New Donk City are most people's first association with the city. But even among those, New Donk City's hall stands out as the very symbol of this great city, so don't miss it. Who knows? You might run into the world-renowned Mayor Pauline. Fun tidbit. Race cars. RC cars. More New Dunkers are getting into the noble sport of RC car racing. Find a local enthusiast and you'll open up a whole new world. Shining, shimmering splendor. Crazy Cap Flagship Store. The world's most trusted brand in headwear. There's probably only one brand that the entire world knows, and that's Crazy Cap. Their original flagship store is right here in New Donk City. The unique storefront is converted from an old theater. Theater space is no longer in such demand, with so many street performers in the city. Always be constructing. There aren't even safety rails. New Donkers are used to construction and new developments. There's always work to be done below ground on rooftops and inside buildings, so power lines never get taken down. They run throughout town. Unaccustomed travelers should watch out for the cranes, girders, and manholes scattered everywhere. Scooting across town. Tougher than it looks. These motor scooters may look old-fashioned, but they pack a punch and are perfect for tooling around the city. Be sure to try one out. Appreciate the constant Power Moon progress and development. Visit those welcoming souls who just leave their doors wide open. Participate in the citywide festival if you can. Schedule subject to change. Gah! Snow Kingdom, bedrock community, blanketed in snow. Shiveria, the warmest community in the coldest land. Come and sit by their fire. Blizzard conditions can reduce visibility. A warm community. Shiveria is a large excavated settlement beneath the ice. It's warmer here than up above, but you'll want to bundle up all the same. Despite the cold, the cheerful Shiverians will thaw any traveler's frozen heart. And if you visit the center square, you'll see the fiery passion the Shiverians have for their traditional races. Take one look at the screen showing all the action, and you'll be caught up in the excitement too. A frozen land. The Snow Kingdom is a world of ice and snow that freezes the body but dazzles the eyes. Stay alert though, one bad step can drop you into the dangerously frigid sea. Despite the cold, the town of Shiveria is famous for its warm hospitality, and on clear days, the view can't be matched. Some animals brave the cold. When the weather is clear, you might spot a few animals making the best of the cold. Be sure to keep an eye out. The Bound Bowl Grand Prix. The racing course extends from the plaza. The sporting event here is the Bound Bowl Grand Prix. Only Shiverians are allowed to participate, but when you watch a race, you'll understand why no one else could participate. Only Shiverian sturdiness could survive a race based on bounding violently through the course and crashing into one another. Be sure to see it if you get the chance. Icing and racing, the rare and exquisite frosted cake. Beyond racing, the Chevarians are known for elaborate baked goods. Especially renowned is the frosted cake, which is very popular at weddings. By tradition, only the Chevarian elder is allowed to make this extraordinary confection. Once more, they are specifically created as the grand prize of the Bound Bow Grand Prix, so the only way to get one is to convince the winner to let you have it. Crevice Menace. A Bifrost can move directly through the ice. Lurking in the local crevices, you might find a Bifrost. These creatures move through the ice under their prey, then thrust upward, chomping. Caution and jumping ability is advised. Swim only in short bursts if you like being warm enough to stay alive. Dig for the gate to the town, which is frequently buried in the snow, and bound your way through a race, build and species permitting. Seaside Kingdom, where the sea meets the sun. Bubble Lane, the relaxing resort by the carbonated sea. Powerful, behold the power of carbonation! The glass tower shines in the setting sun. A miraculous mixture. The 4 fountains in Bubble Lane spray seawater toward the glass tower. The ocean here is carbonated, but otherwise unremarkable. However, when blended in the glass tower, it takes on a deep, elegant flavor and becomes sparkle water. This treasured beverage is said to bring good fortune, happiness, and even romance to those who drink it, which has led it to being featured in many wedding ceremonies. Raise a glass. The spectacle known as Glass Tower isn't just majestic. It also fulfills the critical role of manufacturing the famous local product, sparkle water. It stands atop the Glass Palace, which is a uniquely beautiful architectural style. Or has it? It's a treasure to be explored. Nature's fine hoses. These unusual creatures collect seawater constantly. They use this water both to defend themselves and to propel themselves, sometimes straight up. A love nest for eels. In addition to the fun resort spots found in Bubble Lane, there are some notably dangerous locations as well. One of these is the underwater cave connected to the lighthouse where giant creatures known as maw rays make their nest and shoot out their long bodies in response to stimuli. A little caution can go a long way when exploring this place. They look even bigger in person. Nature's hot tub, deep enough for a full body soak. A ways away from the beach sits an outdoor bath fed by a natural hot spring. Featuring full ocean views, it has become quite popular with tourists. This spring was formed by volcanic activity on the ocean floor, and it's said to have numerous medicinal effects. Take one dip and we're sure you'll fall for its charms. It's also a lovely nature reprieve from the modern resort developments. Relaxing competition, the 10 of a true beach volleyball enthusiast. When in Bubble Lane, be sure to enjoy a game of beach volleyball on the local court. The young side coach gives strong guidance even for beginners, as they say around here, let's play. Oh. Gasp at the sight of all 4 fountains spraying into the glass tower. Refresh yourself in the fizzy delights of Bubble Lane and seawater. Play in the action-packed beach volleyball tournaments. I hope you're prepared for an unforgettable luncheon kingdom. Popular destination for the hungry. Mount Forbono, the bubbling berg that heats the meats like Arby's. Gates of a gourmet paradise. A pot cooking on a volcano, only here. The historic Old Town. On your way to Mount Volbono, you'll pass through the Old Town, ringed by the ruined walls that once enclosed the town. These sturdy cut stone walls even now suggest a prosperity on those times. Atop the walls are little mounds of salt, carried by the wind and piled up naturally. Visitors can walk along the tops of the walls. Do so if you get the chance. The sights here are very different from the colorful scenery of Peronza Plaza, but equally breathtaking. Cooking with a volcano. Surrounded by strange pink lava, Mount Volbono is colorful and vibrant, a vision straight from a picture book. It is famous for its cuisine, with dishes simmered over the volcano and chock full of the local produce that grows to enormous size thanks to the volcanic climate. Cheese as hard as rock. The cheese in Mount Volbono is quite hard, likely because it is left near the lava and dries out completely. The locals chisel it with hammers. You're welcome to join. Cooking Carnival. The highlight of Mount Volbono's year is the Cooking Carnival, where visitors from all over the world come to sample the famous stupendous stew. While cooking on a volcano is, of course, a grand spectacle, the dish itself has a surprisingly delicate flavor, described most frequently in reviews as a melty deliciosity. A resting place for meat! A giant slab of meat surveys its domain. The giant slab of meat used in the stupendous stew is crusted generously in salt and left to rest on a high perch near the volcano. Aging the meat high above the lava, cooled by its wind, is essential to creating the core flavor. If you arrive before the Cooking Carnival, be sure to take the opportunity to visit the platform and see the meat resting soundly before its long journey. Peronza Plaza. All the ingredients here are gigantic. Be sure to visit the centrally located Peronza Plaza for a friendly welcome. Once among the colorful heaps of giant ingredients and succulent smells, you may find it hard to leave. Sample this famous dish, stupendous stew. It's what the locals eat. Gape at the exotic ingredients, like giant vegetables and rock-hard cheeses. Marvel at the preserved architecture, the best-kept secret in tourism. Ruined kingdom, stark land long past its glory days. Crumbledon, a grim reminder of past conflicts. Buried to the hilt, the moon frames over the tower, ominously. High stakes. Amid the ruins, these swords surely stand out. They are thought to be left over from a large battle here in Crumbledon. One certainly feels a sense of intentionality in the way they're struck straight down, as if fallen from the sky. Some not see them as swords, but rather nails or stakes. Perhaps the eyelets at the top allowed ropes or chains through to anchor something, but it's impossible to say what. Reaching for the heavens. This tower once collected energy from lightning and the thunderclouds that constantly swirl here. Some say that it was destroyed by repeated lightning strikes, but others note the unnatural shapes into which the tower crumbled and wonder how it fell into ruin for different reasons entirely. Buried treasures. You'll see glowing spots scattered around the ground. Engage in some amateur archaeology by giving them a hearty stomp. Ruined dreams. It's only because of the people of Crumbledon's skill in construction that there are ruins left here to see. Their building style was reliable and straightforward, but whatever they hoped to accomplish by harnessing the fierce power of lightning remains unclear. Some have theorized that the circular plaza atop the tower was built for a standoff of some kind. Are there clues to what happened here? The Great Altar. Doesn't it look like a creature of some kind? It's thought this altar was built so this former kingdom could communicate with, or perhaps confront, something. This is the only altar built here, and scholars have been keen to discover its intent. It's also said to be shaped in like something in particular. The idea that it was meant to charge lightning has been disproven. The new theory is that it was built to call something down and then restrain the lightning. Are those claw marks? The stone here has numerous large slashes cut through it, often in parallel tracks suggesting giant claws. But that can't be right. What could claw through stone? There's got to be a logical explanation, right? Visit the vast crumbling tower still standing watch over the area. Investigate the deep claw-like marks in the stone. Admire the durable construction techniques of a once proud kingdom. So once again, this was left to die. Bowser's Kingdom. Well-defended castle floating among glowing clouds. Bowser's Castle, the castle that walled off the sky. And fun fact, the currency, the oblong, is the name of the purple coins, by the way. So if you saw the currency there, you'll know the official names of the purple coins. Mallets big enough to climb up on, and architecture as lovely as the scenery. Beautiful tile work. This kingdom's architecture is unique. Roofs made of heavy layered tiles that will not budge even when walked upon. They also create a uniformity in the overall design, enhancing the beauty of the place. Though you can move along the roofs, this palace rests quite high in the sky, and if you fall off, you will most definitely die. It's not the surest footing either, so be careful. Terrifying gatekeepers. Don't run afoul of the stair-faced ogres that guard the kingdom. When they spot an intruder, they bring their huge mallets down, no questions asked. On the other hand, you have to admire their tenacity and work ethic. The scars on their faces show that they do not give up easily. The whole thing. All along the walls, these holes are meant to allow defenders to shoot at invaders. But nowadays, you're more likely to find a demon or a snake coming out than an arrow. Statues that guard the court. The palace tower highlights the inner citadel, and the gate leading to it is guarded by some fearsome statues. The statues are fashioned after gods of wind and thunder, the perfect motif for a sky palace. And since they are modeled on Bowser, the ruler of this kingdom, they serve as a warning to foes here and abroad. Statues are not, they're certainly imposing. Impressive fortifications. Surrounding the inner citadel are the second and third courts. The second court is especially fortified, with many cannons to repel invaders. Cannonballs often roll along the ground, and many tourists fall trying to evade them. Legends speak of invaders repelling the cannonballs with spears, but no mere mortal could hope to do this, so try not to get too close. Beware rolling ordnance. An oasis of calm. This elegant garden is a balm for the brutality of this kingdom, and will help you forget the hardships you are faced to reach it. You can even buy souvenirs, so be sure to stop by. These statues, called Jizo, stand in a row. Dart past the silent but lethal stairface ogres. Avoid being distracted by the ominous yet brightly glowing clouds. Survive the various traps designed to end your trip early. The Moon Kingdom, destination above all others. Honeyloon Ridge, the new frontier of lunar life. They roll perfectly along the lunar surface, and the wedding hall specifically designed to amplify a bell's ring. Lunar life forms. The surface of the moon is harsh, but a few creatures do live there. Take heed if tempted to study their unique shape and movement up close, as they have sharp spikes. It's probably best to observe them from a safe vantage point. Interestingly, similar creatures can be found in the Seaside Kingdom. Did life on our planet, which began in the seas, actually originate on the moon? Wedding Hall. Legends tell of a moon goddess, and this wedding hall is said to have been created in her honor, though no one knows for sure. The stunning exterior contrasts beautifully with the black sky, a symbol of Honeyloon Ridge. Weddings here are often open, so lucky travelers can join the party. Moon Frog. This frog now lives in Honeyloon Ridge. Brought to the moon by the first pioneers, it's now considered a good omen for visitors. See one, and you'll have a happy day, ha 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 ha! Cubes of mystery. Unusual energies emanate from them. Possessing unique metallic properties, it's hard to imagine these cubic moon rocks form naturally, but they can be found in great abundance up here. Similar rocks have also been found in various areas on the planet, and the method of their formation remains shrouded in mystery. We recommend seeking one out and pondering its mysteries up close. Lunar Interior Secrets. Apparently the interior has different gravity. We've heard stories about extensive caverns beneath the lunar interior. There's an entrance directly into the moon rock that's easily accessed, but it sounds quite dangerous inside. On the other hand, tales abound of thrills and mysteries waiting within, so maybe worth investigating. Be sure to take the necessary precautions before you go, though. A View to Remember. Sunsets are so last year. Our world, as seen from the wedding hall, is something everyone needs to experience at least once in their life. With the planet as your witness, it's no wonder weddings are held here. Experience the floaty feeling of lighter gravity, listen to the glorious bells of the wedding hall, and see the mysterious moon rocks, supposedly energy made solid. The Dark Side, remote region even for the moon. Rabbit Ridge, the last world in dedicated wedding planning. Sadly inedible tower and similarly inedible owner. A tasty looking tower. Its ostentatious stone tower was carved in the direction of A tasty-looking tower. Its ostentatious stone tower was carved at the direction of the vegetable-loving Madame Brood, who lords over Rabbit Ridge. Her underlings, the Brutals, live within and always have a warm welcome for visitors. One last door. For those travelers who survived the hospitality of the Brutals, a new challenge may await. Poise under pressure, Tupper, client relations. Responsible for client relations on behalf of the Brutals' wedding planning firm, Tupper is usually found on site, troubleshooting. You can tell how serious he is about a battle by the number of hats he has stacked on top of his head. He doesn't tap into his full hat reserves except for the most dangerous opponents. So if you square off with him, he seems to be mostly hat. You should feel honored and afraid. Rango, the Bouncer. The best hat handler on the team. He's not the most focused, but Rango is a valuable player on the Brutals team, always coming through in the end. A master of his boomeranging trampoline hat, he can throw it both straight and curved with almost unnatural control over the way it flies. On the other hand, he sometimes zones out a little bit and looks confused. That's your chance to counterattack. Harriet, Pyrotechnics. It's best not to get her mad. The least predictable of the Brutals, Harriet is most often found throwing bombs with her hair. When her homemade bombs explode, they leave a pool of fire on the ground, so try knocking them away before they explode. While it may seem reckless to have filled her hat with bombs, Harriet is devious and keeps a lot of spare explosives with her, so watch out. Spew It, the Entertainer. Is the vulgarity all an act? Spinning around while spitting poison in a wide area, Spirit is the least subtle of the Brutals. But he also has an unexpectedly artistic side, as his poisonous ground paintings show. 3 keys to the kingdom. Watch out for the moon's low gravity. You can still die falling off a cliff. Investigate behind all those stone-carved vegetables. Greet all 4 of the keys to the kingdom. You know who they are. And finally, after nearly an hour, Darker Side, even more remote region. Culmina Center, Crater. Every traveler's final stop. Space. It's real pretty. When things collide, holes are made. Seeing the bright side. From here, you can observe galaxies shining in ways you never could from home. Culmina Crater features vistas entirely unique from those you can find on the dark side of the moon and Honeymoon Ridge. If you're feeling down or disheartened, just look up at the Milky Way from here. This game takes place in our universe. You can see each star twinkle as they nestle closer to one another. It'll all be okay. You're not alone. One serious crater. This giant crater was formed by a huge meteor collision long ago. The impact destroyed the civilization that flourished on the moon, which is how Culmina Crater came to be. Or Culmina Crater came to be. The crater itself is so massive you can't see the bottom. Moon mysteries. When you look up inside the caverns, you may see deposits that look like the cubic moon rocks. Were the rocks that fell planetside originally formed here? A bewildering building. The original? A copy? Who knows? This colossal building stands in Culmina Crater. If you look closely, it seems to resemble the City Hall in New Donk City. Some think it's based on the New Donk City Hall. According to researchers, it might be one of the last remnants of the civilization that once flourished on the moon. But with little evidence, this theory lacks credibility. A lone pipe in a crater. This is the only pipe that connects to the lunar interior. If you find it, we don't recommend jumping right in. What awaits is a trial so harsh, it lives up to the name Culmina Crater. Of course, if you have the confidence of a traveler who has done everything the world has to offer, give it a shot. Overcome this, and adventurers the world over will sing your praises. It just sits there, taunting you. Inside the moon, a lava zone spreads throughout this giant cavern. What waits ahead? How far does it go? These answers await those brave enough to enter this unknown, unexplored world. And that's the only known photo of the interior. See the mysterious building that so closely resembles New Donk City Hall. Reach the far recesses of the giant cavern that none dare tread. And test your skills as a hardened tourist one last time. That was over an hour in the raw recording, but that is every single brochure. Whew, man. That is a lot of information. I'm glad we got a lot of insight to the Cloud and Ruin Kingdoms especially, and it goes into insight as to what the wedding objects are, and that's really cool. That is so cool that Mario Odyssey even gives lore to all of these places. That's what makes the game so special. Anyway, next time on Super Mario Odyssey, we're going to talk about every single costume you can possibly get. Of course, if Super Mario Odyssey updates with more costumes, there'll be an updated version of this video going along with it. See you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.